Check it out, internet people. Let me know when anybody gets in. How's the audio? How's the video? Oh, there they went. So yeah, whenever you guys decide to get in, we're going to talk about a little bit of sterling silver, a little bit of crystals, some diamonds, pearls, Pokemon, things to flip on the internet, traveling around the country, getting deep discounts on stuff. Let's see. All right, so Alvin Sterling. Wait for you guys to get in here, I suppose. See, out on Urban Prospectors, we travel around the country. We pick up precious metals from thrift stores, estate sales, garage sales, swap meets, flea markets, antique booths. We buy these cheap, and then what we're looking for, in this case, this is sterling silver. I'm also looking for gold and other precious stones, semi-precious stones. And my objective is to buy this stuff for pennies to the dollar. If you're not familiar, silver right now is over $33 an ounce. You can find this stuff all over the country. If you see here, Gorham sterling. Now this is a weighted candle stick holder. And the pair of these on resale value come up just over $35, I think, is what I saw the last time I looked these up. So yeah, these are weighted. So just throwing these on the scale and weighing these are going to give you an inaccurate rate of what the actual weight is of the silver. But when you're out looking for this stuff, if you look at the bottom of these, there we go, it's on the bottom. So if you can see the stamp there, stamped sterling, or 925 is another great indicator. So I picked up these three and another piece 2 weeks ago in Arkansas at a Salvation Army. Picked up a 14 karat gold chain as well. Paid $20 for everything. Should come up to about 22 or 23 bucks. But they rang me up. It was $20. The silver, I think there was 3, maybe 4 ounces of silver. So just around $100, $120 worth of sterling value for 10 bucks. And then the gold chain was marked 14 karat. I want to say its scrap value comes in at just over $800. Here's some pieces that I acquired a while back. And let's see, that way you can see that that's stamped sterling as well. Now I make flatware rings and other ornaments with vintage silverware. But currently, all the sterling flatware that I find, I am keeping and hoarding. The stuff is just going up in value as the dollar's losing value. You come across some really neat ornate pieces like this. This is monogrammed as well. When you look on the back sides of these, there's where it's stamped at as well. My eyesight's going bad, so right under there you can see sterling silver, or sterling is what it says. And so a spoon like this weighs 8-10 grams, 15-20 grams, depending on the size of the spoon. Sometimes these can weigh up to an ounce, and so you're looking at $20-30 in value on these with just the scrap weight. And you can pick these up for 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 at thrift stores. They're in the silverware area. Most of them are just completely overlooked. I picked this up. This is a 1/4 pound of sterling. Now, when I picked this up, it was $20. I asked the lady, "Can you do any better on that?" She said no. She knew what it was. And you can see the sterling there. And so a 1/4 pound of sterling goes for ballpark 100 to 140 bucks. So these are some pretty easy things to source while you're out and about. Picked this belt buckle up a couple weeks ago when I was sourcing on Facebook Marketplace. I was buying tools. If you see there, sterling. Then this is also stamped Allen Chi, which is the designer. This is a Navajo designer. So then it's signed Yellow Horse 0217. And so the value of this, got a little damage over here on this side, or a little bend. But the general value of something like this is a couple $100. And yeah, I gave less than $5 for this just a couple weeks ago. And this weighs approximately, I think I weighed it 68 grams. So just over 2 ounces, or ballpark 2 troy ounces. Now, sterling silver is 92.5% silver. It's cut with nickel or copper. It gives it a little bit more strength to it. Whereas if this was 999 silver, then this would be really soft and it bends very, very easily. Some of the other items that you're looking for would be coin silver. Now, coin silver is not going to be stamped, but you're going to look at it. It's going to be super soft, just like sterling silver. And it is, I believe, 90% silver. And so that's something that a lot of other people out looking for sterling, they're going to just miss this stuff because it's not stamped and they don't know what to look for. So you can take this stuff to a pawn shop or to like We Buy Gold, Silver, and you can get spot value for this. Spot value is scrap value. Sometimes spot value, when they offer it to you, it'll be 40, 50, 60% of whatever the spot value is. You want to go ahead and skip those guys and move over to the next. If you've been watching silver prices recently, you've been seeing them rise. I want to say about 3, 4, 5 months ago, refined silver was $27, $28 an ounce. And currently it's sitting around $33 to $34 an ounce. So it's gone up significantly in the last few months, and it's expected to continue to rise. So the more of this stuff that you can get, the better off that you're going to be. And as you can see, this stuff, I mean, it comes cheap. Like each of these weigh, I don't know, 7 to 10 grams, somewhere in there. And so this is about 4 or 5 times the value of what I paid for it. And they also gave me a discount when I did purchase it. These candlestick holders, I gave a couple dollars for them, and they're worth well over $30. But you got to keep in mind something like this is weighted, meaning that it's got like concrete or cement inside of this. And so it's not all actual sterling silver when you put this on the scale. Now, as I travel around the country, a few of the other things that I do is I like to stop and do a little mining for other crystals and gems. So I stopped in Arkansas a couple weeks ago, went out to Fisher Mountain and dug these quartz out of the Black Mountains. Now, these particular ones, these are double terminated. And so what double terminated means is it's got terminations on both ends of this. So I found a handful of double terminated points. I used to go to Mount Ida in the 90s and pick these points. Yeah, these are all just natural. They grow like this. Some of the clearest quartz that you find in the country. This particular one, as I was going through them yesterday, this is called a phantom. If you can see just around the top, there's a little haze or hue of what looks like crystal formation. So what happens is the crystal stops growing and then it picks up again and starts growing again. You can see that little shadow haze where, there you go. That's a nice little angle of it. You can see the point inside, little cloudy point. So phantoms are a really neat crystal that I like to find. And then, yeah, these double terminated points are really nice too. And so Mount Ida, they had an excavator up there and they just scraped off a chunk of the top of the mountain, and you could go through the tailings, which would just be where the excavator's already gone. And this stuff was just sitting out. You see a little point of it when the sun would glisten on it, and it looks like broken shards of glass. But a lot of it has iron oxide covered. And so it's really hard to see what you're picking right when you're picking this stuff. And so you need to clean it up a little bit. When you clean it up, you can see exactly what kind of points that you have. So these are 3 double terminated points stacked on top of each other. A little bit rough on a couple parts, but still a pretty crystal. And like this guy right here, this is a really nice double terminated point. So yeah, these are the ones that I pulled to the side for myself. The others I'll be leaving as tips and gifts in my travels when I stop and see people. A lot of people don't have the chance to get out and actually go digging for something like this. So I'll do it for you. How about that? Hey, if you're in the chat room, go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know if the audio is coming through fine. Let me know if video is coming in. This is the first time I've gone live on YouTube. So I'll be selling on Whatnot here soon. There's links both in the description of the video that for buyers and sellers. If you're not registered on Whatnot yet, then you can get some credit for using one of the links. I've got a hoard of Magic the Gathering and Pokemon vintage cards that I collected a few years back, and the vintage Pokemon cards are just fantastic. Never played. I bought them I bought a lady's collection, and I sat on them for 12, 13 years, and now it's time to get rid of these suckers. been selling some on different marketplaces for the last year plus. It's time to get rid of a bunch of them. So like earlier today, I was out scouting. I found 1.5 pounds of silver a few days ago at one of the thrift stores here in Alabama. And so when I was there, they had 5 pieces was the most of any of the set that I found. Leads me to believe that there's still 3+ pieces for each of the spoons and forks that are there. So I've been going back every day this week looking for the rest of the silver. I picked that stuff up for 75 cents a unit. I got 23 pieces and came out to around $17. And 23 pieces come in at a weight of 1.5 pounds. And so 1.5 pounds of silver is worth well over $500-600 in scrap value. So if you do the math, this stuff was just sitting right at the front table right as I walked into the thrift store. Plenty of other resellers are walking right by it. They're just skipping right by it. They're going looking for their overpriced clothing to start flipping on the internet. But the silverware is just sitting right there. And they skip it. It's okay with me, though, because this is what I'm going in there for. This stuff is way, way, way more valuable than taking a $7 shirt and flipping it for $20. I used to sell clothing and thrift stores like the Goodwill store and Salvation Army just outrageously bump up their prices. And so the margins that you're going to find to resell that stuff, you're going to have a lot of money invested in the cost of goods versus what your ROI is going to be. So I was buying stuff at pennies to the dollar at bag sales, getting Levi's and other name brand items. And when you're buying them at 10, 20, 30 cents a unit, you can definitely go turn around and sell that stuff at a much higher price. And even when people take and give you a low ball offer, you can take that low ball offer and you still got plenty of margins. One of the things when I was selling clothing, a lot of people would say you can't sell certain brands, just common brands that you would find at, say, JCPenney's, what's that, St. Thomas Bay, J. Crew. Thing is, I'd put 5, 6, 7 of these units together, all in the same size, and get $8, $9 per unit. And so you got what, $50, $60 on a listing. Somebody comes in and offers you 40 or $50, and you still got plenty of meat on the table. And when they tell you that you can't sell that stuff, just listen to them. They're right. They can't sell that stuff. All right. So thanks for being here. I got one of you in here. Had 2 for a few. I was just trying to get on and make sure all the buttons were worked out, and we'll be getting on live and doing some other broadcasts later on. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and we will catch you guys the next time. Hey, thanks, Lance.